Hey guys, this is William. In today's video, what I'm going to be talking about is financial goals or financial awareness. If you're new to this channel, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on that bell notification. My name is William. I have over 20 years of business and SEO experience of taking my agency from 4 clients to where we're at today, earning over 7 figures in less than a year. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started in talking about financial goals. I'm going to give you some hacks and tips, if you will, of things that have helped me.
And here we go.
I have mentees or people that I mentor, and one of the first things I ask them is, what do you want? What is your financial goal? Is that 7 figures? Is it 6 figures? What is it? Where are you at? Kind of get a feel for where they're at. And usually what they wind up saying is, well, I want 7 figures. I want $1 million a year. Well, why do you want $1 million a year? And they come back with these things like, well, this house, I want to build travel, or this car, I want to build live here, wherever it may be, right? And this varies for each person depending on what their goals or what their vision of success is. But generally speaking, that's the answer they give me. Then the next question is, I'm like, well, why? And they generally have no real reason other than they like the car, they like the house, or whatnot, right? I want more! But really what it boils down to is right, the feeling. It's not even about money. It's generally winds up being about the thing, right? It's not about money. It's always about the thing. What's this thing, if you will, going to give me? How's it going to make me feel to have it, to live here, to be here? It's always about these things, if you will, that they see, and they wind up going, okay, well, they think that they need to have $1 million a year to have these things. But then when you ask them, for example, well, how much do you think you need to have that lifestyle? What? Or how much does this car cost? Or how much does this house cost? Or how much does it cost to build travel? And then they're like a deer caught in headlights, and they're like, well, I don't know how much it costs because I've never even looked. One of the things me and my mentor used to do is, okay, we would do what we call dream building, which means we'd go, okay, we want this house or we want this car. We go to the dealership, we test drive the car. You get emotionally attached to how the car makes you feel. You like it. You get the amount. You can find out how much the car note would cost you, or if you paid it off cash, how much that would cost. Same thing with a house. Hey, I want to live in $1 million house, or $100,000, $300,000 house, whatever it may be. Whether or not you want to buy cash or you want to do payments, whatever it may be, right? You go to the house, you get a viewing, you walk into the house, you get a feel, you're emotionally attached to the house now, and now you also know how much it would cost to own this house, right? This is where most people screw up. They have no idea of how much it would cost. They have no emotional attachment to it. They don't know nothing about it. What is it going to make them feel like, right? To be in this house. Wow, this is a 10,000 square foot house. Or, hey, I'm driving a BMW or a Lambo or whatever it is you may desire, right?
Oh my God! Wow!
Most people on top of this realize this. Most people desire these things not because naturally they want it. It's mainly because they feel that it's going to raise their status. Just throwing that in there as a little tidbit. Most people want things because they feel like it's going to raise their status, right? But most people, if you look at these things, they never even go out and they find out how much it costs. They don't know nothing about it. They're not emotionally attached. And then they wonder why they go through life not hitting these goals, not having the things they have in their head that they think they want, right? Because they're not emotionally attached. If you're not emotionally attached to something, you're not going to put forth the effort needed to get there, okay?
Oh, yeah,
That's the other thing. There's a Bible verse that says this, and I really do like it, and this is one of the things that I would tell you. It says, without a vision, people perish, or they die, right? If you want this house, you want this car, right? Well, when do you want it?
Now!
You want it in a year? You want it in 2 years, 5 years, 6 months? When do you want it, right? So write out a date when you're going to hit these goals. Write out your goals, because until it's written out, it's just a dream. It's just a figment of your imagination. So write it out. Write out the dates.
Write that down.
The other thing I started doing that really helped me is I used to never do this. The only time I ever used to do this was when it was like an emergency. I was like, oh God, I didn't want to look at my bank account because I knew I'd had nothing, right? I started looking at my bank account on a daily basis. The other thing you need to do is look at your investments on a daily basis. And if you look at your bank account and you're not where you want to be, look at it till it literally makes you so sick that you take action to do something about it, right?
Don't question it, just do it.
It's like, okay, if you are skinny or, you're so-so, you start eating junk, and over time you eat more junk, more burgers, more crap, and you don't get on a scale. You're not going to buy clothes. You're not, if you will, measuring, right, where you're at, right? You're not measuring with a scale. You're not looking in the mirror. So eventually, let's say years later, you put on 60, 70, 80 pounds. You didn't even realize it because you were never measuring it. This is one of the reasons why I say to look at your bank account and your investments on a daily basis, because it's a way in which it's tangible. I can look at it, I can see it, and I can measure it according to where I want to be.
He's absolutely right.
The other thing I would do is get a whiteboard, or what we call a vision board. Put the images of the things that you want with their prices up on a board that you can look at on a daily basis, right? And then break down, if you want to be at 7 figures or 6 figures or whatever, how much do you need to earn weekly? How much do you need to earn monthly and versus yearly? That way you can literally mark on that thing where you're at every day, every week, every month. So you know how close you are to hitting your goals. It's measurable and tangible. And the more you have it in front of you, the more it will become a reality. So these are just some tips I wanted to give you in regards to financial goals. If you have any questions, any way in which I can help you, one of the things I have never in my life actually had, if you will, success until I came over here. I live in the Philippines, and one of the things I started doing was these things I'm talking about right here. And I took my agency from 4 clients to several hundred, and we've helped several thousand, in the past year. And I went from barely having $700 a month to my name to over 7 figures in less than a year. So that's why we talked about this today. We're going to be talking about more about finances, business mindsets. We also talk about on this channel is local SEO and YouTube SEO and some other things. But we're going to be talking about mindset, business goals, and finances. So if you have any questions or anything you want to answer, make sure to drop them in the comments below, and gladly answer them for you. You guys have a great day. Be blessed.
I have so many SEOs that hate me and say that I'm stealing their methods. They bitch and they cry, labeling me SEO black hat. Was a nobody, now I'm at the top. Most wanted, most loved, bad business owners, and hated by